Have you ever had like a really tough coach? Like a coach that knew your fullest potential, and your coach would call you on it. Let's say you have a personal trainer, and your personal trainer knows the parts of your body that need to be worked out, right? I mean, it can be brutal. It can be straight up brutal when that personal trainer or that coach or that mentor or that, parent in some cases, guardian, whatever, when they tell you straight up, you've missed the ball in this area. That can be a hard thing. And some humans don't ever forgive. You miss it that one time or you miss it, you could be stellar your whole life and get into one rough patch, and all of a sudden that turns into your reality. That turns into who you are in humans' minds. Some people, could mess up once or have a stint in their lives that just is not 100 in the eyes of man. And people will write you off. A coach, you keep messing up in the games, he's going to take you off the field. He's going to take you off of the court because you've got a reputation. He's built a reputation off of what you've been able to deliver. And so sometimes when we find out about what God asks from his people, we're like, man, that's a tall order. When I mess up, because we've already, some of us, we live in that defeatist mindset. So it's like, when I mess up, God's not going to put me in anymore. He's not going to believe in me anymore. And with love, some coaches bench their players because they don't want them to get hurt. Sometimes coaches bench their players because they are so arrogant and they're so put up with pride that they can't listen to reason and wisdom. I mean, coaches bench their players because maybe they had some, off the field or off the court issues, that personal issues that had nothing to do with the discipline of the sport. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why a coach can yank the player off of the field. Sometimes it's personal. And when we have those personal instances with leaders in our lives who have said, where I take personal offense with what you did. And maybe it was right, maybe it was wrong for that coach to take personal offense, but that coach will bench you because of personal reasons that have nothing to do with you misbehaving at all. It's just a personal reason. We sometimes think that God is the same way. We think that God will bench us for the same reasons man will. You've got situations where it's like this family donated to our team. And so because they donated to our team a large sum of money, then the coach stopped playing some team players so that their son could get on the field. You know what I'm saying? That favoritism. And see, God loves all of his people, and he wants all of his children to do well. He wants all of them to do well. Doesn't matter whose parents you come from. And he's going to play with you, and he's going to work with you, and he's going to practice with you until he seasons you and makes you the very best player that you can be. He's not done with you. And so just because, you might have had some slip-ups in your past, just because, you've made some mistakes, just because things have not necessarily gone the way you think God would have them to go in your life, we quit the game because we think coach is mad at us. But the coach is not mad at all. The coach loves all of his creation. And the coach wants to make sure that we all learn our lessons. We all have different lessons to learn. And to the player who thinks that he or she has nothing to learn in this life and has mastered all of it, that's right when you get benched. Because arrogance is still a fault. But sometimes we associate our Father's love. Sometimes we associate that hard, stern, you better get it. We associate that with how God loves his people. And he's just so full of grace. Meaning, it's a gift that he gives. Grace is a gift that he gives to his players when he seems fit. We as players don't get to tell ourselves, okay, coach is going to give us grace for having not had the discipline in this area at our sport. No, that's not how it works. Coach gives grace to his players when he believes that his players have learned the lesson. Or when he wants to. But that's how God works. It's like you can live your whole life mad that you lost one game or 2 games and thinking that coach is never forgiving you for those 2 games, and then that's just not true. But you could also think, oh, well, I don't have to try as hard, or I don't have to be as disciplined because coach has grace. That's not how it works either. If you think of a just coach or a just personal trainer or a just leader or guider, a guide is going to take inventory of all the decisions that you can make, knows the level that you currently play at, and then pushes you to do better every time. A personal trainer is going to get mad, like legit, and honestly, I can see why. Personal trainers get frustrated with their clients when their clients deviate from what they're supposed to do. Because it's a joint effort. We're both working towards building you to getting you to the next level. And when somebody reneges on that, it's like, it can be frustrating. And it's not that God gets frustrated. He doesn't. He already knows what you're going to do. But part of the learning process is wanting to do better, seeing where you can do better and wanting to do better and then doing better. That is literally the difference between success and failure. You're gonna mess up. But when you mess up, it's like, are you getting better at it? Are you getting better at situational awareness? Are you getting better at seeing where the pitfalls are? Are you getting better at seeing where the lack of discipline is? Are you getting better at not cheating? Like, saying, straight up, I want to take this stuff to make me enhance, but you know what? I'm not going to because these are the ramifications. I love you. I gotta go.